What is up guys, 101 here, and as you can see it's time for the next simulation pay-per-view, Money in the Bank 2012. This pay-per-view in real life is coming to you later on in the day. Today is Sunday, this video is going to be going up early afternoon I hope. So Money in the Bank is going to be tonight. I think for UK viewers it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning, and for anyone in America it's maybe 7 or 8 PM. If you missed last month's No Way Out simulation pay-per-view, the idea of this is that I'm going to be going through all the matches featured, giving my own thoughts and predictions along the way. I also want to make this about you guys. I want to make this into sort of a prediction game, not so much a game, but I want to see, if any of you guys can get every prediction right. So I want every match for you guys to leave your prediction down below. If any of you guys get every single match correct, then you get a shout out next video. I understand that maybe not all matches have been announced so far, so the only predictions you've got to get right are the matches that I've got on the video itself. As far as the No Way Out predictions went, we had 2 winners. Those winners were Jake Neverman and iChris Gaming. Feel free to go and check their channels out and say a big hey from 101 Gaming. So don't forget guys, put your predictions down below for a chance to have a shout out next video, and if we can get a lot of people involved going forward, then maybe eventually we're going to be having some prizes like Xbox Live cards and nothing big, but so on like that. So without further ado, let's get on with the pay-per-view. We're going to quickly kick the show off straight away with a tag team match. So this is actually going to be from the pre-show. It's going to be R-Truth, Kofi Kingston taking on Hunico and Camacho. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. This is going to be on the pre-show on YouTube, and I think maybe WWE.com, but I think actually it might just be on YouTube. I'm sure the match itself ain't going to be half bad, but if I'm blatantly honest, the tag team division in WWE is just pretty piss poor, at least in my opinion. I'm not saying the matches are bad, but there's just there's no build up, or at least very lackluster rush build up. It's just really a shell of what it really should be. A few years ago, well, going back more than that, and obviously you had the legendary days of Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, even like Right to Censor, Kai and Tai, teams like that. Obviously I am going back probably, oh yeah, definitely more than 10 years ago, but still. Before we carry on with the match, I want to quickly, if you missed the last pay-per-view, which was No Way Out, the idea of this is going to be me going through the pay-per-view. As you can probably already tell by now, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the matches that are going to be happening for real on Sunday. I normally commentate at half. I put a bit of info there, say a little bit about the build-up, and then I finish off the matches with a bit of commentary similar to sort of universe mode. Call the matches, call the moves, just something to basically kill the time on the video. Hopefully, it's going to be, it's going to be sort of a relaxed commentary, light-hearted, just a bit of fun really. So what do you guys think about the pay-per-view? I'm sort of excited. I think it's been a pretty good year for WWE pay-per-view. Certainly the first few were pretty good. Nobody really liked the Rumble, but I don't think the Rumble was too bad. I think the Rumble compared to recent years is alright. It wasn't quite as serious, it was very light-hearted. Obviously you had like Foley, Santino, people like that. A bit of the Cobra versus Sock moment. Just a lot of humour, so I can understand the criticism of that. What was the next? Elimination Chamber. That got some sig, but I didn't think that was too bad. WrestleMania was really good. Extreme Rules really good. What came after that was Over Limit. That wasn't too bad. But I think the worst pay-per-view for me so far was actually probably last month's, and that's maybe it got me on a bad day. And I stayed up late to watch it. Obviously over in the UK, it was on at 1 in the morning. I've only seen it through once. That was live. I was obviously a bit tired, but yeah, I did really enjoy that show. Daniel Bryan, Kane, and CM Punk WWE title match was pretty fun. Other than that, didn't really enjoy the Big Show Cena match. I never really got into John Laurinaitis as a character, so for me, I get that was sort of payoff for the storyline, but for me personally, having not been into the character, it was just a bit sort of, I don't know, I just didn't really get into it. But it was okay, but for me, definitely the most. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't bad. I'm not slating it, but probably definitely the least enjoyable pay-per-view of the year so far for me. So I'm hopeful this pay-per-view is going to be a lot better than that, which, you know, potentially it's going to be. This is obviously the pre-show match, as I said before. Then we've got Smackdown Money in the Bank, Raw Money in the Bank. What else we got? The WWE title match. That's Daniel Bryan taking on CM Punk with AJ as the special guest referee. Obviously that's going to be the last match on this pay-per-view, but we can't have AJ as referee for obvious reasons. You know, there's no special guest referee mode in WWE 12. Hopefully they might maybe put it back in for WWE 13. We'll have to see about that. And where was I? Yeah, World Heavyweight Championship match. Sheamus, Del Rio. And probably going to have a... Well, yeah, I'm sure in real life they have a Ryback squash, so I've made a little Ryback squash to add on the pay-per-view. That's 5 matches. I'm not sure if there's any others or not. I can't think. At least I haven't recorded any at this recording time. We'll see. I'm quickly going to go into the match now with a couple of minutes left on it. It's been pretty even, as I think it will be at the pay-per-view. Kofi Kingston with a nice move there. Kofi Kingston very exciting in the ring. The tag team of Hunico and Camacho doesn't really do much for me though. They seem to just be there for, I don't know, to make up the numbers maybe more than anything. I definitely fully expect R-Truth and Kofi Kingston to win this match comfortably. And like I said, it's in the YouTube pre-show, but I mean it should get the crowd going. I'm sure it's going to be a 5-minute match. As far as R-Truth and Kofi Kingston goes, a tag team, they're not too bad, but I think they're a typical team of the WWE tag division these days. They're sort of, you know, forced together. They're not really a proper team, similar to Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. I think Kingston, for some reason, they just want to see him in a tag team. I don't know why. I hope going forward he can get back into singles action, but we'll have to see. Like I said, the other tag team, you know, they're pretty entertaining in the ring. I'll give them that. High flyers and so on. Nice angle slam there by Hunico. But they're basically jobbers, aren't they? I mean, we've seen them. Was it last month on the pay-per-view? It was against Sin Cara. And yeah, I think they're pretty much glorified jobbers put together in a tag team. And I really don't see them going far unless the WWE gives them a substantial push, which I can't really see happening. As you just saw R-Truth hit his finisher, and I think that's pretty much how the match is going to go, at least more or less. Either way, my prediction for the match: R-Truth, Kofi Kingston to retain their WWE Tag Team Championships. Coming up next, we've got the Smackdown Money in the Bank ladder match. Obviously, the winner gets the briefcase for a shot of the Smackdown Championship over the next year. At least that's how I believe it's going down as normal. As you know, in real life, this is actually going to be an 8-man match, but because of WWE 12 only allows up to 6 people in the ring, I'm not going to include, I was almost going to say A-Train, but Lord Tensai. So there's no Lord Tensai in this match, and there's also no Santino. Basically just because I think those two are the least likely to win. So we've got the match as Dolph Ziggler taking on Damien Sandow, taking on Christian, Sin Cara and Tyson Kidd and Cody Rhodes. I think compared to the Raw match, this is going to be pretty different. Obviously the Raw match, you've got four kind of bigger guys. In this match you've got a few smaller guys, so we're going to be a bit more high flying. I think there's going to be a lot more excitement in this match, even though it maybe doesn't have the the main event caliber names in there, which I don't think really matters. Straight away, my pick is going to be Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes actually doesn't win this match on the simulation. Someone else does. You have to wait and see who. But he's definitely my pick. Who do you guys want to win the match? Let me know down below. As I said, this match is going to be pretty good. I think overall Ziggler and Rhodes have got to be considered the favourites. Maybe for some reason Tyson Kidd's been getting a little bit of talk up. People are being excited about him. I'm not really sure where his little mini pushes come from. I wouldn't think he'd win. He's definitely a dark horse. But there has been a few articles saying that management are quite high on him, and he is getting some sort of little push. I really don't know why that is or where that's come from. Keeping in mind this is the same guy that, what year was it? Is maybe last year, year before. I'm sure 1 year. Hornswoggle. And we all know how much of a joke the character Hornswoggle is. Gave him, I think it was like I'm not sure if it was the FU. I can't remember if Cena was involved, but he gave him the FU. It could have even been maybe a Rumble match. So back then they were basically treating him like a joke. So where he's getting this little push from, only God knows. But what do you think about Tyson Kidd, guys? Do you think he deserves a little bit of a push, or are you confused about it as I am? Let me know as always in the comment section below. I'm going to quickly talk about a little bit about each guy. Obviously we spoke about Tyson Kidd there. Next up, Cody Rhodes. Like I said, for me he's my pick to win. I was only saying, I forget which video on, a couple of months ago, that when Money in the Bank comes around, I think he's definitely got to be there, getting a shot. I'm not saying he's going to become champion, but I think winning this match will definitely take him up a level. Obviously he had that long IC title reign, now held by Christian. Pretty much ever since Randy, well, not Randy Orton brought him in, but ever since he came in, Randy Orton that time. He's put on consistent good matches the last year or so since he took off the bloody stupid mask. He's definitely doing really good. He's really improved on the mic, so he's good on the mic, good in the ring. Not the biggest guy, but not the smallest guy. So I don't see why, the WWE won't give him a push. I'm sure one day. I forget how old he is, but I know I only looked the other day, and I think he's only in his 20s. So he's definitely got potential, long term to be a world champion, which I really believe he will be sooner actually rather than later. Next up, Sin Cara. Again, I'm not particularly a big fan of the guy. He puts on pretty entertaining matches, but he's a bit of a botcher. He's always getting moves a bit wrong. Never seems to quite find his feet as much as people would like. I've never really watched much Mexican wrestling, but I know over there it was a really big deal. I think I read he's probably the biggest draw in Mexico. I'm not sure whatever, but definitely for a number of years. So I'm not sure why he hasn't been able to match his success in the WWE yet. I guess it's still early days. Christian, again, he's been one of my favourites now for a number of years. I can't really see him winning the actual match, but he definitely deserves again to get a chance to become champion. He's obviously a two-time world champion in WWE. I think he's a couple of, maybe 1 or 2 NWA TNA champion from his time there. So there's no reason why they can't push him back to the top. He's got definitely all the tools again. Not too old. I think he's about 37, 38, maybe of that. So he's going to go on definitely for a number of years. So he's got a small chance, but I'm pretty sure they're going to give it to a younger guy. Who else we got? Damien Sandow. Yeah, see, I've not really seen too much on this guy. I've seen a few of his promos on YouTube, but I've not watched Smackdown not properly for a little while, so I'm not sure if this guy is any good or not. I hear he's pretty good, but obviously it's definitely early days. He only debuted, at least wrestling, only, was it a month ago? I'm not sure, quite recently anyway. But I would say he's probably an outsider to win, depending how seriously they want to push the guy. I think they're at a time now where the roster is pretty weak, so if they see a guy that they want to push, then I think at the moment, with it being so weak, they've got a bigger chance as any to take it to the next level. We all know how good Dolph Ziggler is. There's only a matter of time before he's champion again. That's if you want to count his... Do you remember when he beat Edge for the world title on SmackDown that time? Dodgy memes with Vicky Guerrero. The title reign just lasts an hour or something, wasn't it? Maybe a few minutes. So whether you want to, really count him as a former world champion, I'm not sure. I guess officially he is, so at least he can always, you know, say that he's a former champion. But yeah, definitely him or Rhodes. I think I've covered them all, at least the ones that are in this match now. Like I said, I can't see Lord Tensai winning. I'm glad he's on Smackdown a bit more now. You know, on Raw, he wasn't really getting too far. And also Santino, I mean, I hope Santino doesn't win. As we all know, he is a bit of a joke character. I get that he's, you know, with the PG, with the kids, people find him funny. I mean, I find him funny, but especially for him to be US champion is a bit of a joke when you consider some of the legends that have held that title in the past, you know, like Steve Austin, just to name one, Booker T maybe. So I say, get the US title off Santino, and maybe even put it on like Damien Sandow. They want to give them a push, maybe build them up a bit more slowly, don't thrust them up to the main event quite so soon. I think I've been blabbering on now, trying to kill this type of this commentary. Apologies guys if I sound a bit tired, this is quite early in the morning over here. Didn't have a very good sleep, so apologies for that. Gonna go back into the match, Titan kick with a chair, taking Ziggler down, throws it to Christian, actually busted him wide open, which we know will not be happening at this pay-per-view unless it's accidental. Dolph Ziggler with the ladder in the ring. Is Dolph going to climb the ladder? Oh, he's fiddling around with it. Is he fighting? Yeah, he's finally climbing the ladder. Dolph Ziggler with the briefcase. Is he going to put it down? Sin Cara. Oh, Dolph Ziggler gets it. So, Christian with the unprettier as well. So, guys and girls, in this WWE Trial Simulation match, Dolph Ziggler has won the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. In real life, my pick is going to be Cody Rhodes. So let me know your pick down below. And we're just going to let Dolph Ziggler celebrate just for a moment, and then we're going to get straight on to the next match. Next up, as you can see, it's going to be Sheamus taking on Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I've placed this on the pay-per-view third. That's keeping in mind that I've put the pre-show match on the event. I've got a feeling again that this could kick off the whole show. It's been a habit in recent memory of the World Championship kicking off in the opening match, which I understand why they want to spread the matches out, the big matches out. But for me, the world title these days is being treated more like a mid-card title, you know, like IC. I was going to say US, but at the moment that's a bit of a joke. But yeah, this title is being treated more like a secondary title. I'm not sure why. I don't think it's anything against Sheamus. Obviously, WrestleMania, we know the embarrassment that match had. I don't particularly mind both guys. Not a huge fan of either. You know, Sheamus being from Ireland, you know, UK, whether Ireland, the part of Ireland he's from, whether it's part of the UK or not, you know, most people's minds he's still definitely representing the UK, whether it's, you know, officially or not. So I'm definitely rooting for Sheamus. I can't really see Sheamus losing the title unless something happens with Del Rio. Maybe they've got something planned. A friend of mine did have an idea that maybe Rey Mysterio, obviously he's coming back really soon, maybe Del Rio gets the title here and then Rey and Del Rio can feud over the title. Obviously we know, at least in storyline wise, it was Del Rio who took out Rey Mysterio. So Rey and Alberto, I'm sure, could put on some sweet matches, whether they want to put the world title into that. Maybe leading up to SummerSlam, I really don't know. Sheamus has been on a pretty decent run as champion. Obviously, beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Was it 17 seconds? Huge disappointment of a match. I'm trying to think what he had after that. Was it? Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan rematch, Extreme Rules. That was actually a really good match. Definitely, probably in the top 10 matches of the year so far. Obviously last month he was supposed to face Alberto Del Rio, but for whatever, they said it was a concussion, but there was backstage reports that maybe he was in trouble with management, so they took him out of the match. But no matter the reason, last month Del Rio got taken out of the title match, and they put Dolph Ziggler in his place, who we saw in the previous match in the Money in the Bank. I think a lot of people had a feeling Dolph Ziggler could have become champion, but it wasn't to be. I never really thought he was going to become champion at that point, and that proved to be so. So Sheamus carries on with the championship. I'm really not sure where they're going to go with Sheamus from this point. Like I said, if he does win this match, I'm not sure the next opponent. I can't think when Randy Orton's suspension ends. If Randy Orton's suspension is over before SummerSlam, then maybe they could come back. He could come back and pick up pretty much where he left off. Obviously, before he was suspended, he was sort of in the world title picture. So if he's back in time, and I could definitely see a Sheamus taking on Randy Orton feud, whether it's face versus face, or I did read it before that Orton actually wants to become a heel again. For me personally, I think Orton was always better the heel. So maybe when he comes back, he'll turn heel, or even return as a heel. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think there's too long to go. I'm sure a suspension might last another 3 weeks, but I don't have any information in front of me, so I really can't say, guys. We're going to go into the match just to finish this off. It's been kind of even so far. Maybe Alberto Del Rio having the edge. Nice Russian leg sweep by Alberto Del Rio. Oh, nice enziguri kick to the side of Sheamus's head. Del Rio taken off the turnbuckle. Going to try and connect Sheamus's head to the still, I think. Oh, nice clothesline, taking Sheamus down. Picking Sheamus back up. Into the turnbuckle. Oh, again a nice enziguri kick, side of the face. And Alberto Del Rio, cocky as ever, looking really pleased with himself. Picking Sheamus back up. Irish whip again into the exposed turnbuckle. Strong Irish whip into the other turnbuckle. Again another strong Irish whip back into the exposed turnbuckle. Sheamus is down. Reverse on Del Rio. Sheamus going top rope. We don't see that very often in real life. What's he going to go for? Double axe handle or sledge. Taking Alberto Del Rio down. And Sheamus trademark moves right there. And it's wake up taunt time. Are we going to see the Celtic cross or maybe the bro kick? I think he's going for the bro kick. Oh, Alberto Del Rio with a reversal. Is this it? 1, 2, only a 2 count. And a nice face buster for kicking out. This time Alberto Del Rio going for the wake up taunt. Sheamus is about to turn around. Here we go. Armbar time. Is Sheamus going to tap out? Oh, Sheamus just about rolls out of it. Punching Del Rio into the corner. Nice shoulder thrust by Sheamus. A strong Irish whip of his own. What's he going for now? Nice fall away slam there. A move JBL used to do back in the day. Both men exchanging punches in the ring. Both looking pretty tired. Similar to how I'm feeling right now. Enziguri kick. Sheamus down. Alberto with the Irish whip. Oh, reversed by Sheamus. And for the seem like the 100th time in the match, strong whip into the turnbuckle, and just like that, bro kick from nowhere. Sheamus about to pick up the victory. 2, 3. And this is it, guys. This is my prediction. I predict Sheamus to defeat Alberto Del Rio and successfully defend his World Heavyweight Championship. Let me know your prediction down in the comment section below. Next up, another huge match, this time the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. Jericho taking on John Cena, taking on the Big Show, taking on Kane. Now I like all 4 guys in this match, but it just seems a bit of a strange combination for a Money in the Bank ladder match. Obviously in the past few years, ever since they've been doing the match, or actually maybe a lot more than a few years, 2000, not sure when, WrestleMania, whenever the first one was, a number of years ago, they've always been trying to build up, you know, superstars to get to that next level. Obviously we've had guys like RVD win it, Edge, Jack Swagger. I mean, he's not too successful now, but did become a world champion out of it. You know, the list does go on. So far everyone has become champion. This match is a bit different. This is actually 4 guys who are already main event level guys, 4 former world champions of some kind. So I'm not really sure. I think this match actually is quite unpredictable as far as the winner goes. I'm going to try and dissect each man and, you know, give pros and cons to why they might win. We're going to start off with Jericho. Pretty much all year we've been having like reports that he's going to be leaving for the summer. Obviously we're just getting into the summer now, but I'm not sure how much longer Jericho's going to be around for. Maybe, I think he might be staying until SummerSlam, and then maybe he'll go on tour with his band, or, you know, do the commitments that he's got to do. So I'm going to say Jericho doesn't win. Kane, yeah, see, I like Kane, probably more for memories from the Attitude Era more than anything else. I'm not sure I can see Kane becoming world champion anytime soon. I could be wrong. I think you've got to look who the current champions are and who's likely to be champion going forward. But yeah, for one reason or another, I really can't see Kane winning the match, unfortunately for him. Next up, John Cena. I think he's going to be the overwhelming favourite, but the thing I say about that is, often the WWE don't want to be too predictable, and if everyone's picking Cena to win, then maybe he won't. I mean, it's not like he needs to become champion. I forget how many times he's been champion now. Is it maybe 10, or, you know, it's definitely double digits. So Cena definitely doesn't need to win. Out of all 4 men, probably needs to win the least. I mean, he can pretty much get a title match all year round. I mean, just say he does win the match. Normally to cash it in is sort of a heely thing to do. You know, they normally sneak up on after a big ruler match. The heel normally comes out of the briefcase, as we all know, takes advantage of the vulnerable champion. Can you really see John Cena doing that? I know they could go another route and he challenges officially for the championship, but I don't know, I'm not really sure I can see that happening. That goes on to the 4th man, and actually my pick for the match, the Big Show. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, you know, Big Show, Mr. Money in the Bank. I hear you, know, it sounds a bit of a strange prediction maybe. I don't think too many other people are going to be predicting Big Show to be the winner, but he's going to be my pick. I do wonder if they're going to use the reinforced ladder, which I think they used a few years ago. I'm trying to think of the match that they used it in. I think it might have been possibly when Jerry Show took on DX. I can't think, but I know one year they had a really big reinforced ladder, which was quite funny to see. But maybe we'll see the return of that. Maybe Big Show pulls out from underneath the ring. We'll have to wait and see. So guys, who do you think is going to win the match? Like I said, my pick is Big Show, but your pick is whoever you want. So whoever your pick is, let me know down below. To finish off the rest of this match, we're going to go back into it almost like a universe mode style and commentate it. So all 4 men, pretty even so far. I think Cena's about to give Kane a nice big suplex. He is. And Jericho taking down his former tag team partner, the Big Show. Irish whip to Cena in the corner. Nice big clothesline from Kane. I'm a bit behind on WWE TV, but I'm not sure if Kane's a face or a heel at the moment. I've got a feeling they might be turning him face, if not already. Nice gorilla press slam onto Cena. Oh, nice face splash from the Big Show. I think this match is maybe similar to how it's going to be in real life. Just going to be 2 men constantly splitting up, swapping over partners. I fully expect there to be a super FU, a super code break, or maybe even a super choke slam. You know, actually even a WMD. So potentially we've got all 4 men doing their signatures off the ladder. The only thing I see with that is I'm not sure. I can't see Big Show falling off the ladder, like not taking a code break or nothing like that. And I can't see Cena giving him an FU off the ladder. But I can definitely see Jericho taking an FU off the top of the ladder. I can definitely see Cena taking a code break off the ladder. Maybe Kane taking a WMD. And so on. What do you guys think about that? Have you got any spots that you predict will go down? Like I said, those 4 are going to be my little predictions for the match. I'm not sure what else we're going to be seeing. Will we see any tables in the match? Any other weapons? I'm not entirely sure. Big Show climbing this ladder, going for the belt, but I think the ladder's a bit out of place, or it definitely is now. Big Show right to Cena's eyes. Oh, John Cena with a huge backdrop, taking Big Show off the ladder. And now Big Show is going to get a Russian leg sweep. And both Cena and Jericho with the ladder. Jericho taking Kane down. I think Jericho's going for the briefcase. Kane meeting him up the top. Kane falls back down. I think Jericho's still out of place though, so he can't get the briefcase. Oh, nice double hand chop onto Kane. What we got here? A super drop kick off the top of the ladder. Just as I'm saying that, Big Show with a huge choke slam on John Cena, who, as we all know, is Superman. Gets straight back up, backdrop onto Big Show. Jericho again climbing the ladder. Jericho is in place. Kane just watching him get the belt. Jericho hanging. Cena pulls him down into an electric chair drop. Another gorilla press slam to Jericho from Kane onto the ladder. I'm pretty sure in real life this match is going to be, you know, pretty decent. I don't think it's going to be quite as, you know, on the fun side as the Smackdown match. I think the Smackdown match is going to have a lot more high flying, fast spots. I think this match is going to be a bit more slower. Like I said, I think all 4 men will get their signature moves off the top of the ladder, but I can't see it being too extreme. Have to wait and see, but like I said, I think it'll be good. Oh, Cena going Stone Cold style, punches the Big Show after the Lufas press. Big Show could be in trouble in the middle of the ring. Cena picking him back up. Oh, here we go. Is he going to get? I thought Cena was going to go for, as you can't see me, but didn't go for it. Now Kane back in control. It's Kane's time to climb the ladder. Oh, Big Show as well. Both huge men on the ladder. What we're going to see here? Elbow to the back of Big Show's head, and Cena taking both men off the ladder. Both men falling to the floor. I'm hoping Super Cena doesn't win anyway, despite what I said. I don't hate on Cena. I used to actually be quite a big fan of Cena when he was heel back in 2003, but this Superman gimmick has definitely just got way too tiring. And as I'm saying that, despite the effort from Big Show, Kane has climbed the ladder, got the briefcase. Ladies and gentlemen, at least on this WWE 12 simulation, Kane is your winner. As I said previously, my pick is going to be the underdog. At least the underdog in my opinion. It's going to be the Big Show. Or at least maybe not the underdog, but people who think are less likely to win. Big Show is my pick. Who is your pick? Let me know, guys, down in the comment section below. Hopefully you'll be doing for every match. Now it's time for the Ryback squash. I know this match isn't actually confirmed for the pay-per-view, but is it the last 3 or 4 pay-per-views Ryback's had a squash, so I don't see it being any different here. In real life, it's obviously not going to be Husky Harris as he's not on the main roster anymore, but I was kind of looking for guys that he could squash. I didn't want to give a... I think so far he's been squashing a lot of smaller guys, so I thought I'd have a bigger guy. It's Husky Harris this time, squashing to Ryback. If anything in real life, he's probably going to take on, is it Rex and Hawkins, maybe 2-on-1, or he's going to take on some jobbers, maybe, is it FCW, maybe they get some of their guys up, he can squash them. or local talents, you know, whatever you want to call it. If that's the case, maybe he could be squashing up to 3. It wouldn't surprise me if they threw 4 at him. You know, the way they're building him, they really want people to think that he's some big monster. I mean, I don't think he's done too badly so far. I think in a time where, at least in recent memory, we've seen Lord Tensai squashing, you know, Funkasaurus squashing and Ryback squashing all pretty much simultaneously. Of all 3 guys, I think Ryback has definitely done the best job, you know, from an entertainment standpoint. A lot of you guys probably won't remember this, but he was actually back on Tough Enough. I'm trying to think of his real name. I think it was Ryan Reeves with Silverback. This is back on, I think they done Tough Enough on Smackdown one year. I'm not sure it's still Tough Enough where the Miz was involved. I can't remember that far back, but a lot of you guys might not know that. At least, you know, that's what my memory's telling me. If I'm wrong, then I'm going to look like a bit of an idiot. But I'm pretty sure this was Ryan Reeves from Tough Enough back in, I want to say 2003, but that could be wrong. Maybe give that a Google or look on Wikipedia. Ryback, as always, looking large and in charge. I wouldn't mind seeing Ryback in a real feud. I know, like I said, he's sort of feuding with Hawkins and Rex, but like I said about the other tag teams, Hunico and Camacho, I actually prefer Hawkins and Rex, but they're nothing special either. In terms of how the WWE's been booking them, you know, they're booking them looking weak. So even though they're, you know, both talented wrestlers, until the WWE decides to book them strongly, they're not going to go too far. As we saw there, a very, very predictable match. Ryback picks up the victory. It's actually a sweet looking Ryback creative wrestler from Xbox 360 Community Creations, as always. A lot of you guys know I do own both consoles, but Xbox 360's definitely got the better creative wrestlers, and obviously they've got the, you know, the hacked textures and the hacked lobby screens, so it's a lot better to use the Xbox for the cause. Main event time, and it's CM Punk taking on Daniel Bryan. Obviously I can't show it in the game, but AJ is going to be the special guest referee for this match. I know the match itself is going to have a lot of, you know, mixed feelings as far as who's going to win. Both guys extremely popular, even though Daniel Bryan is supposed to be the heel. I can definitely see them turning him, you know, face maybe later in the year. So what do you guys think about this match? Who do you predict is going to be the winner, and what spots do you think is going to go down in the match? I think this is going to be the match of the night, which, you know, is probably going to be expected from everyone. Everyone knows I'm huge fans of both guys back from their Ring of Honor days. Every time they've had a match together, I can't remember ever seeing a bad one. I think Daniel Bryan, obviously, you know, CM Punk has been around for a bit longer than Daniel Bryan, but over the last year, or even the last 6 months, you know, Daniel Bryan's really, you know, people are really taking notice of him, really appreciating what he does in the ring. I think for a while he was a bit underutilised by the WWE when he first came in. Obviously they had the NXT. I never really watched NXT, but I think I'm right in thinking that he never won a match on NXT, or he had a really bad record, something along those lines. But I'm glad now they're really treating him as a main guy. As I said in other matches, you know, the roster isn't too strong at the moment, so for a guy like Daniel Bryan to really step up, I think everyone's really took notice, and he's definitely going to be a big star, you know, for a number of years for WWE. Even though, like I said, a big fan of both guys, I've not been watching Raw as often as I should recently. That's not because I've got no interest in Raw, it's just because I've had a bit of a busy time with a few things going on. I do try and watch the highlights, but I'm not quite up to date with the AJ storyline. I know, you know, she's gone a bit psycho. She can't seem to decide which man she wants to help. I know Kane was involved. Obviously, after No Way Out, we did see AJ in a Kane outfit, which is pretty funny to see. She's been siding with both men, sending a lot of mixed signals. So I think there's definitely going to be like a big payoff to this angle. Yeah, my prediction is that we actually get the payoff in this match on Sunday, or tonight. and you're probably going to be watching this Sunday afternoon. So later on tonight, I think we're really going to see the payoff of the angle. At least I hope so. I think it's definitely time for a new WWE champion. Not because Punk's done anything wrong, just because he's been champion for a hell of a long time now, and it'd be nice to see someone different with the belt. I'm trying to think, was it Survivor Series that Punk's been champion from? I know it's definitely around that time. So it's been like a long time for a championship reign. But fair play to Punk. He's had a great run, and he's really shown everyone that he's stepped up to that next level. I think with Randy Orton definitely being gone as well, I think Cena, until he gets older, he's always going to be considered the #1 guy in the company. Despite how fans feel about that. But I think CM Punk has really took the #2 spot in Randy Orton's absence. And obviously Randy Orton is supposed to be on Smackdown anyway, so... But yeah, basically I'm trying to say CM Punk's had a hell of a year, and I'm glad that he's finally getting noticed as a really top guy. I'm hoping he gets a really good match at WrestleMania this year. I'd love for him to face Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I think that's a match maybe for another year. As I've done for the whole pay-per-view, for the last half of this match, we're going to go back into the match, and I'll give my prediction towards the end. CM Punk, Irish whip Daniel Bryan to the corner. Nice knee to the face, trademark Punk into the Bulldog. Again, into the other turnbuckle, going for the same move again. Daniel Bryan gets out the way. Huge kick. Picking Punk back up. Nice Northern Lights suplex. Didn't decide to go for the pin. Nice running back drop on CM Punk. I do normally try to simulate the match as best I can, guys, but I was a bit behind with Speaker videos, so this pay-per-view, as far as simulation goes, maybe isn't quite up to my normal standard. But the matches have all been pretty fun. I know I wouldn't put it up if I thought the matches were bad. I know the commentary has maybe been a little bit tiring, but like I said before, it's pretty early in the morning over here when I'm recording this on Friday. So forgive me for that. But I hope going forward you're going to be staying tuned for a lot of my new content coming up. On Monday we're going to be having ECW, and we've got another ECW in the week. Hopefully next weekend we're going to be having Attitude Gratitude. And yeah, a lot of exciting series coming soon, series that will really get the excitement up. I know, as I keep saying, this pay-per-view, I probably sound a bit tired. I apologise for that. I think as well, for these pay-per-views, ironically they get the most views, but as far as subscriber interaction goes, they get the least interest. Not because they're bad videos, but just because it's the same for everyone. If you're subscribed to 5 or 6 WWE directors, you're not going to want to watch 5 or 6 pretty much similar commentaries, on the same match, on the same pay-per-view, which is totally understandable. And I definitely, that's one of the reasons why I started doing all the matches as a pay-per-view. This pay-per-view's been a little bit rushed compared to other videos recently, but I think going forward, when things are a bit more, when time is a bit more friendly to me, I really try and take the production value up a level, get some nice graphics on the go, pretty much take all of your, if any of you guys have got any ideas about this, let me know. As I said in the intro of the video, the idea of this is for me to, be able to talk to you guys in a longer video. I know I do split the video up after, but that's only because a lot of you guys can't sit and watch a 45-minute video. Whether that's because you haven't got the time, or whether that's because I hear recently YouTube's got a lot of issues with loading longer videos, so I know some of you guys can't load a video that long, it keeps stuttering and so on. But the main idea basically was for me to try and involve you guys. I think long term, if these videos do get a little more attention, as far as the predictions go, I want to maybe try and do some prizes. For example, every month, if you get every prediction right, maybe you get an Xbox Live card or something like that. This just take note, this isn't for now, so if you get every prediction right, there is no prize for this month. But that's maybe my, my thought process going forward. But there's no point me doing that until, a lot of people have taken part. We'll have to wait and see going forward. We're going to quickly go back into the match. Daniel Bryan with the labella lock on CM Punk. Is CM Punk gonna tap? CM Punk's tapping, and we have a new WWE Champion. I don't quite see it like that in real life, at least not entirely. Daniel Bryan is going to be my pick, but I think he's going to win it through shady means when AJ screws CM Punk over. But we'll have to wait and see about that. I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view. Let me know all your predictions down below, and if you get all the predictions right, you will get a shout out next month's video. But until next time, this has been 101. Thanks for watching.